By morning, the order had already passed from hand to hand. You are about to embark upon the Great Crusade. Papers folded into pockets, voices low. A date that would not forget them. Before history names the beaches, it names a boat, small, wooden-sided, and built around a nose that turned into a road. A ramp that fell into the surf and made the sea briefly behave. Its job was brutally simple and therefore decisive. Reach the breakers, drop the ramp, unload, back out, return. Everything about it was bent to that loop. Speed, lightness, power, simplicity, parts you could swap in a hurry. 4 crew, up to 36 infantrymen, or roughly 8,000 pounds of cargo. 10 to 12 miles an hour under load. A gray marine diesel of about 225 horsepower. 2 100-gallon tanks, about 100 miles of work between refuels. It wasn't glamorous. It was ready. There is a patent drawing where an artist's hand explains the idea without a single sentence. Cables and winch, the ramp folding like a bridge, a skeg protecting propeller and rudder from sandbars. The manual told crews to know the boat from ramp to transom. In the wheelhouse, engine controls and the ramp lever, narrow peepholes so a coxswain could see without lifting his head into fire. Equipment lists ran from CO2 extinguishers to wooden plugs for bullet holes. None of that is romantic. All of it is survival. Now, work. Hundreds of these hulls wait for a single word. Troops and kits go down rope nets like raindrops, vanishing into the open rectangles below. Even a launch is a rehearsal that has been timed in seconds. Everyone knows his place because the sea does not have patience. Late on the 5th of June, the channel fills with steel. A fleet of thousands moves as if on one breath. In the air, 11,000 aircraft carry a noise that sounds like certainty. Paratroopers go into the dark. Down at the height of spray, our boat holds faces. Salt on lips, diesel in the throat. Helmets touching because there's no other way to stand. Course straight for the sand. The bow climbs the breaker, ramp down, and the boat becomes a very short front line. Boots slap the steel, then water, then shingle. In seconds, she gives up her load, men, crates, sometimes a jeep, and backs away. The prop churns mud. The coxswain steals a gap between waves and the LCVP is already turning for another run. Sometimes she carries the living back instead. This rhythm wasn't guessed on the run. It was drawn into the hull and drilled into the crew. Where the ramp lever sits, how to check the ramp cable and its cotter pins, how to rig the emergency tiller, what to plug a hole with, where the morphine is in the kit. The water does not wait, neither does time. A photograph can look accidental. Mud-striped faces, someone grinning, someone too tired to try. Inside those faces is the cost of an uncomplicated decision. Build a small boat that could do a very large thing. Along the beach runs a line of these temporary roads to land, rafts, causeways, tangles of wire, wrecked barges, bare sand scoured by tracks. Up the chain sits the order that began this day. Plain words about a hard task, a strong enemy, and good luck. From the air you hear about triumphs and failures. In headquarters you hear about plans and tonnage. At the height of the surf, war was settled by wood, steel, and practice. And if someone said later that this box did more to win the war than any other single piece of equipment, well, maybe that's too neat. But victory does favor what can be repeated. The thing that will deliver men and do it again. The Higgins boat is not famous for its beauty. It is famous for the moment when the sea becomes a ramp and the ramp becomes a street, and the street keeps moving forward even while the tide is trying to drag it back. The boat that opened a continent